Why do I start this talk to you talking about English, not talking about computing, not talking about PCs, not talking about this stuff, not talking about computer science? Because if this lingua franca, this language between you not speaking English and me not speaking English, okay? If we don't get it right, you will not understand the rest of the stuff. Is that clear? And in previous years, I had this problem on my face big time. So the problem was not computer science, was not understanding the thing in computer science, but the problem was that the communication means, the vehicle to communicate, was not working. All right? There is nothing wrong in not knowing English well enough. Nothing embarrassing. I mean, I learned English when I was, 27 maybe, or something. I was not embarrassed because I learned it at that point. Here is different, of course. In South Africa, you need, for various reasons, historical and non-historical, we are not going to talk about that, to learn English. And compared to your school, I can't help you in Zulu or whatever else you are doing here. There might be, of course, a couple of Spedi people or Xhosa people or whatever. Okay, suspend here quickly because my tutor, you're going to know him very soon, is Njabulo Ntlela. It will be the main tutor, the chief of the tutors. Okay, and he's just talking about the microphone.
Yeah, so they have no idea.
They have no idea?
Yeah, they are not there, of course. I just called.
They're not there?
Yeah, they're not there.
But they, what do you mean they're not there?
They're not there. Like,
there are 5 of them. The office is empty?
Yeah.
Okay, but have you got to the, no, then is not the right office. It's a blue or green door.
Yeah, that's
Is
it.
that one?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
near the printing center.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, all right, okay. Right, so looks like they are happy for me to kill my vocal cords, okay? Because somehow the microphone is powered on but does not seem to be working. Okay, we might get a technician from the computer science department if he's luckier than us in trying to troubleshoot. Okay, so bottom line, please make sure that your English is fine, because you can understand everything that I say. And sometimes I say things that are a little bit odd to you. I run the course maybe in a slightly different manner compared to the courses you have been used until now in school. And in school, by the way, you have another thing that you won't have directly with me. If you need to talk Zulu or whatever you had as your home language, the teacher probably will understand. I don't. Although I'm working to that, but it will take a long time before I can do that. Okay, so English, number 1. Number 2 is a question to you. So somebody will have to answer. And please just start talking to me. If you want, put up the hand. But generally speaking, if I'm asking you a question, start talking. Normally there are so few people ready to talk for whatever reason, and so you won't clash with each other, okay? Was anybody able to go onto the course work for this course in Moodle? Moodle is your Learning Management System, or LMS. Can I see if anybody could go onto Moodle for introductory computing? Are you shy or you are not on Moodle? Okay, right. And please, perfect. That's good. So it looks like there are some delays in that. Now, one problem that we are going to try to... Okay. It should happen this week. Keep checking. As soon as it happens, you are going to see the WhatsApp link for the class group, okay? And you are going to enroll on that, okay? One thing that, well, I wonder, for the sake of communication, if there is something urgent or you can't ever go to Moodle, okay? This is just an emergency thing because we are going to communicate through the WhatsApp group. But if there are problems, I'm going to give you my WhatsApp number right now. You can write it down. It's just an emergency for the moment, please. Okay? Is 083 95 15 642. I repeat, 083 95 15 642. Please, is an emergency thing, and in a maximum couple of days, you are going to have the Moodle where there will be the link so that you can come up to contact me through the group, so that when I answer something in the group, everybody listen as well and becomes not a nightmare. Why? Because at the moment here, maybe you are about 130 or something, but in this course, right now, there are about 390, almost 400 people, okay? The capacity of this room is about 300, so maybe you are 160 at the moment, 170, I don't know. Let me just, in fact, take a picture as well for documentation. Now, why do I look so funny? And I do, I know. It's not because I have a special virtual reality cyber type of thing and I can see, looking at your face, then your name coming up on my left eye or something. It's not like that. It's not like that. I'm very sensitive to light, and particularly the cold lights here, you know, the ones that are not warm, like this one. You can see that this is warmish as light. It's like yellowish. This is bluish or white, okay? And that triggers very, very strong headaches that I need a full day to recover from. So that's the reason why I'm kitted out like that, okay? Let's go for a couple of good things. First of all, the air conditioning in this room works. It's not always happening, okay? So we can stay here, without killing ourselves. I hope in the lab will be the same thing. The second thing that is positive is that we are going to have live lectures here in this manner only once a week on Thursday, okay? Only once a week on Thursdays. Otherwise, we'll be online. We'll discuss later on why, but the major reason for being online is, okay, maybe it's going to fix the microphone. The major reason to be online is the fact that you'll have the recording, and you're supposed to go through the recording using the network of the university. Ideally, while you are in the lab, there is a lab with 150 computers, and we are going to use it 2 or 3 times a week, possibly 3, until last year 2, but you are too many to be able to. And you have to be there every week either on Wednesday or Thursday. Somebody has come to me to check if it was possible for her to enroll in this course, and looks like it is. And she had the timetable. In that timetable, the times in the lab are referred to as tutorials. I'm going to call it practicals at time, but the important thing is time in the lab. Time in which you are sitting in front of a computer and do things. One thing, if you have missed a lecture, go through the lecture. If you have headset, will be ideal. Okay? The computers do have a little speakers in it, but of course, if you have it in your ears, you don't bother everybody around. Okay? Okay. But if you don't have, I understand that. It's the same headset that you use with your cell phone. If it's corded, it must be corded, must have a wire, because those computers don't work with Bluetooth devices. Okay? All right. Now, that is compulsory. In other terms, we will have a system that will be based on Moodle to see your presence. And every day you get a fraction, every day that you are there, you get a fraction of your mark for your class mark. If you are absent, you don't get that. You understand? You don't get that, and then you might fall short for getting what is called duly performed, DP, which is the class mark. And if you don't get a class mark over 40, I think here at the moment, this year, if you don't get a class mark of 40, you can't write the exam, the final exam, the exam in June. And if you don't write the exam in June, you have to repeat the course. Okay? I'm not saying that to scare you. By the way, because you are here on the very first day, I don't think I have to scare you at all. I think you are probably the one that are going to do everything right, or mostly right, okay? But tell your friends that are not here, the future friends in this course, the other 240, 30, whatever, down a little bit more here. Okay. The important thing to understand is that to be a computer science means to be able to control a PC, a computer that for you will be a personal computer, a PC, like the stuff that you see in the labs, okay? Of course, we are going to do that ramping up from this thing, because that is a personal computer, super personal if you like, okay? Each one has one. Can I see by the way, initially, all through the course, because of the WhatsApp group, that will be a very important companion. Is there anybody who does not have a smartphone? Does not matter how small. Okay, that's great. And we are ramping up to go to the PC in the lab through this machine, which you know already. Most of you know already. Just have one problem, of course, this machine. Outside the campus network, outside the network of Unizulu, it forces you to pay through your nose to get data. Okay, unfortunately, that is what happens here in South Africa at the moment. This stuff has not yet been sorted out, the cost of data. Okay, right. But when you are on network, of course, through Wi-Fi, it costs you zero. Okay, not always Wi-Fi works. That is granted. Okay? Is everybody, now I want to hear a positive answer. Is everybody comfortable with this little computer, this little super portable personal computer? Everybody comfortable? Okay, great. And I repeat, we ramp it up from there. This year, compared to the previous Here? Thank you anyway. Is that working?
Yeah. It's one
Really?
but the frequency
But,
low.
okay. Sorry, but it's rather bad. No, it's too bad, it's too bad. Okay, and like that I will have a better recording anyway, hopefully. Now, yeah, there it is. Okay, so compared to last year, we are going to push the practice a bit more, and we are going to ramp you up from this device as much as possible onto the PCs. How many people have been not just seen a PC somewhere at a friend or in the shop or something? Okay, all the stuff that are used by the tellers are PCs in most cases, although they are masked in a kind of funny manner. Who has experience as of a PC, either because they have it at home or because the school has a computer lab, etc., etc. Can you just, by show of hand, energy please, up. I want to see. Don't be shy. It's not somebody that has worked for 1 week in a funny session, okay? Somebody that has done at least 1 year working regularly, at least twice a week on a PC. Push up, please. Push up. It's a very nice thing if you have done. That's great. Now let's do another test. I want to know who can program in a language. Any language, but must be able to program. I don't want to have somebody that says, yes, I can, and then the first time we talk about variables, they are all over the place, okay? So, now is the programming. Please, up, energy. Please, that's good. You should be feeling happy about that. Okay, perfect. All right. Finally, now, who has developed systems for friends or commercially? Okay? Hand up. Okay, we do have 2 programmers here, and can these people, don't be shy, people. Okay, all right. And these people should be part of our set to learn for the rest of the people. And what can we ask them to identify themselves with a name and a surname? Okay? And shout a bit, because I'm old guy, my ears are bad. Sorry? Have you got the stuff? Can you repeat very hard? Okay, perfect, great. And then? Sorry? I just got Ndlovu at the end, but, sorry? Okay, I'm strong.
Yeah.
Can you just repeat it? Okay, great. Perfect. All right. But the people that know how to program, even if they have not developed a system for friends or on a commercial basis, will help us as well. Okay? They will become kind of half tutors or something. And everybody that knows a bit more than the one next to you on the left, in the lab, should be thinking that they are a resource for your class. Do you understand me? Okay, of course you say, but that is like, yeah, it's the goody-goody type of thing, etc. Only like that we are going to do this thing of ramping up people to at least understanding what programming is, if you start from zero. Otherwise, we are losing a big chunk of this class. Okay, all right. The changes that we are making this year will be reflected in the exam, because there will be a bigger push on programming this year. Okay, hopefully. All right, in other terms, during the exam, you'll have to prove that you can program. At the little level, of course, at which we can do in this course, of course. All right. All right. To summarize, we are going to use a lot of this smartphone to bootstrap you, to ramp it up to the PCs and to the programming. Some of you will be able to do the programming directly on the smartphone, but of course it won't be particularly efficient because of the limitations of the smartphone, okay? But keep in mind that, but we go through maybe the next, you can attach, of course, a normal, simple, cheap USB keyboard on that, so you can be a little bit more efficient. But we are talking in future about that. But the fundamental things are the presence in the lab is going to be monitored and is going to accumulate points, that means marks for you towards your DP.
We have a hand.
Sorry?
We have a hand.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Shout. I mean, I'm shouting. You are younger, you can shout twice me. Sorry? Ah, good. Okay, you could have said just my role, Lecture1 but otherwise my name is Alfredo, just Alfred with an O at the end, because I'm Italian and not English, Alfredo. And then Terzoli, spelling, you're going to learn the spelling when you can access Moodle. Does not matter for the moment, okay? Alfredo is fine. All right. So, get back to the thing. The presence is important because only like that you are going to learn to use a computer. And because of that, so you should try to be there as much as possible, or you lose marks. The practicals per se will not be marked. You have to hand in work that will be randomly assessed, but not for marks, We are going to say, look, you're not doing well enough, maybe. For every practical, you'll have the solutions. It will be for you to go and compare. And then, if you don't understand why the solution is like that, instead of what you put in a solution, you ask in the group, or even better, in the lectures, or even better, during the lab sessions, okay? You are in control of your learning. And that's the important switch compared to most of your school experience, okay? I can't force you to learn. Learning is a very individual, self-motivated experience. The rest is junk, is totally junk. The best thing that a teacher can do is to put you in the spirit, give you the motivation to learn. I can't learn for you. At all. I can be the best teacher in the world, and you'll learn nothing if you don't do the effort yourself. It's exactly like in sport. It's not enough to see a beautiful athlete running a marathon, and you say, yeah, there it is. Yeah, I can see. If you don't run, you never run the marathon. Is that clear? Or whatever else you want to do. Okay. So where do come the other points for your class mark? These will come from tests. We will have 4 or 5 tests. Every test is going to be quite an operation you're going to see. The test will be monitored, will be in the lab, and blah, 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 blah. So, most of your marks will come from them. The marks that don't come from the presence in the lab, all right? And we don't do too many for the simple reason that every single time we run a test, we lose completely that session of lab. And the lab sessions, I just told you, are important for us, very important. Okay, fine. Okay. For the people that just arrived after I gave out my cell number for emergency, where I have my WhatsApp, my main WhatsApp, I'm going to give the number again. Now you have learned that is Alfredo speaking to you. I'm going to give it just as emergency. In a couple of days, you are going to be on Moodle, the learning management system here at Unizulu, and you are going to find a link to become part of the group, the WhatsApp group for this course. But here is my WhatsApp number, 083, for the people that arrived late, 083 9515 642. 083 9515 642. Okay, now let me go here. All right. Okay. In fact, let me just stop a moment now, and I would like to invite you. You heard me saying a lot of things. I would like to invite you to ask questions. By the way, for that, put up the hand so I can come next to you and you record the question, because this thing is going to be put up on Moodle, of course, for you for future reference. Any question is absolutely okay. No question is embarrassing or problematic. Okay, let me just pull down my second glasses so I can see the hands. Oh, okay, that's good, that's good. Let me just see what is the question. Keep in mind, if the question is off topic, in my opinion, then I will not answer. No embarrassment, but I will not answer. Okay.
So,
Just shout.
what is the programming language you're going to use for programming?
Okay, what is the programming language is not so important, but okay. We are going to use Python in this course. We are going to use Python, which at the moment is going through an incredible lift up, particularly because artificial intelligence, quite a lot of the stuff within artificial intelligence is done in Python. And at the same time, is good for a beginner, is good for somebody who never saw anything about computers, about programming, etc., but can take you all the way wherever you like. Okay, and beyond. So you can become a super specialist if you like, but to become a super specialist in Python, of course, will require a few years of real practice. Okay, but the point is, it's a nice language because it goes all the way from beginner's language to super professional. Okay. Any other question? I'm particularly interested in question about organization, because most time the problem of learning is not understanding the organizational environment for learning. And that is what I want to do quite often in lectures, make sure that you know where the resources for you to learn are, why these resources and not other resources, etc., you understand? Because in my experience, that is normally the problem with the majority of students. Is not for me to explain the concepts, etc., because the concepts will be in the material you get. If you can read English, then everything is on Moodle. You understand? Okay. Right. Any other questions on this side of the... Any question is fine. People there? No? Now, of course, there will be somebody down on the other side just to make me run around. Okay, maybe a question. Is everybody understanding what I'm saying? Okay? All right. Let me ask a simple question. What will be the marks that we are going to give for the practical work? Can somebody answer this thing to me? How many marks you'll get per practical that has been done by you in the lab? I want to hear 5 marks, 10 marks, 20 marks. I'm not asking Jabul, of course he knows. How many marks for the practicals? Well then, sorry? At least 10. Well, then I was talking for nothing, and that is the problem of communication. Okay? 40. 10. For the practicals, For the practicals. Can I hear some woman? Because women are said to be listening better than the men. Okay, and I believe so. So how many marks for the practicals? Shout. No marks. 0, 0, 0 marks. Your marks come from tests, 4 or 5 for the semester, and presence in the lab. Every single time you are there, you are accumulating some marks. Okay? But that is an important thing. It's showing that the communication is not good. And that is a problem. Okay? All right? Please, let's make sure. You can say, yeah, but you could have had the stuff. Yeah, next time, of course, we'll see how the heck the whole thing works. If it works, it's never, no guarantee. All this thing, of course, is on Moodle. Keep in mind that Moodle is really the reference thing, okay? Okay? But at the same time, was not such a difficult concept. Certainly different from what you are used. Let me just go for a little digression, then I want again something from you guys. Okay, this guy is losing the pen. Okay, right. Throughout, this is an important concept, okay? Let me tell you, because I've been around the block, of course, you can see my age, quite a few times. So I've certainly a long experience in teaching. And by the way, I come from a family of teachers as well, and who come from a family of teachers as well. So we go back generations, all right? Now, the worst thing in the formal education system known as public schooling, the worst thing is the insistence on marking everything. It's the insistence of that makes you think that you are not working to learn. You're not working to learn. You are working to get marks. To get marks, and maybe sometimes to make the teacher happy or something, which I don't see, of course, at all. But more importantly, to get marks. Like marks is sort of a money type of thing. You know, to work, you need to be compensated, and you are compensated with marks. Is awful. If you go into good educational systems, marks do not exist generally. There might be at the end some certification at the end of the year or something, some sort of certification. But marks mess up the learning process. Were you given marks when you start? You were finally able to move from like that to like that, and finally to like that. and being able to walk on your feet. Did you do that because somebody was giving marks? Your mother. Aha! Now I'm going to give you an 8. Oh, you are late. 5. You are still down on the floor. 3. You did not do that. You wanted to learn to walk. Okay? Same thing with speaking. If your home language was not self-motivated as a learning experience, like a human being, but it was driven by marks, you wouldn't speak your home language. It would be worse than foreign language, which in fact, in most cases, we have not learned well at all. Okay? You learn things when you want to learn, and marks are a distraction. Somebody say, no, marks are not a distraction because allow me to know if the stuff is right or wrong. And that's wrong. That's wrong. When you learn to go with 2 feet, there was not somebody was telling right or wrong. If you were wrong, you were on the floor, banging your head, and you understood that. That was not the right way. Okay? If when you started talking and using some words, you were obtaining the opposite thing. If you wanted a cake and you said bread, and you saw that this stuff that arrived there was not the cake, you just changed. Not because you said, aha, 0 to you, because I know you wanted a cake, you asked for the bread. No. Okay? So, if you have the solutions, you compare, you understand. Even before the solution, you should be able to say, you know what? I think I did the right thing, but maybe not. Okay? Why do I think it's the right thing? Not because I say it's the right thing. The teacher is not the repository of knowledge. Okay? Don't trust any teacher. Trust something that works. Okay? You understand? Okay, so that I know I'm not going to change. Of course, in the other courses, it will be a different thing, and people will be using a lot the marks to keep your attention. But is distracting from the learning process. And unfortunately, is formalized in the public school system. Okay, we try to get a middle of the way because we can't go completely radical. Of course, we are within a system, so we have to do that, but we limit the stuff to the tests. And then we give points for the presence, because the presence is essential to learn. Okay? All right. But don't ask, what is my mark, to assess how you're going. Ask, am I learning? And learn to understand if you are learning or not. Okay? Learn to understand if you are learning independently on what somebody else thinks you are learning or not learning. All right? Are you with me? Keep in mind that for your own things, I don't know what you do in terms of what you care about. Maybe we have people doing sport here. Maybe there are people singing. Maybe there are people playing music. Maybe there are people drawing. Maybe there are painting. All type of things that typically you don't do often in the public system. You do because you like it. Maybe in the family there is somebody doing, or you saw somebody doing that, or even just on TV, whatever. There, you know if you are progressing in your capacity as an athlete, or as a painter, or as a musician. You don't need to have somebody that comes there and give you a mark. Of course, you can say, no, but even on TV there is the musical competition. Yeah, they bring in the silliness of the public teaching system. Okay? All right. That's no motivation for anybody. Okay? All right. So try to resuscitate, to restart this ability of learning that Mother Nature gave you at the beginning, which gave you the real capacities that you have, okay? Walk, talk, think, and all this kind of stuff, all right? And this is for life. The real learning is always for life. The learning driven by Marx is not for life in the majority of cases, all right? Clear enough, the whole story? Keep in mind that I'm totally happy to have somebody arguing against what I'm saying for every single thing, including specific computer science ideas, is 100%, but must be arguing with the sense of it, not just random, okay? In fact, I'm totally happy, and in some cases, the arguing might come from a misunderstanding, and that's good 100%, okay? Because if we shut down the misunderstanding, we ease up the learning, okay? Now, just 2 minutes for another question, and then we go. Okay, there it is. Let me just come there and capture this question here. Can you just pass the stuff to him? Okay. Right. Question.
My question was, I don't know
Just shout a bit and the other people please silent, otherwise you can't hear what he says.
are you familiar with the app Mimo?
Mimo.
Mimo, yes.
Mimo is like M-I-M-O?
Yeah.
Or M-E-M-O?
M-I-M-O.
Mimo, no, I'm not familiar.
Okay, irregardless of that, just asking on the fundamental basis of would it be a good resource for an individual to go and find an app that could give substantial basics for programming, like on certain apps, because I'm usually familiar with certain like Memo. So I was wondering if that's a good start for a person, or is that a bad resource?
Great question. Great question. First of all, I will have to document myself on this Memo thing, because otherwise I can't answer properly. But I can do a general reflection of the stuff. There is an enormous amount of resources on the web, on the internet, okay, regarding programming, particularly programming, of course, obviously. We are going to, why? Because the internet has been built by programmers. So, of course, they were the first one to use it, the first one to put their material, the first one to develop applications for other programmers, etc., okay? Right. But as a general thing, unless you ask, like he asked me, so I'm going to check the stuff, and maybe it's something that we can use as a resource, approved resource for the whole class. But otherwise, particularly if you resist the urge of saying, I'm going to find the right solution somewhere because I'm going to find the stuff. There is an enormous amount of junk on the internet for programmers, junk for programmers, by people that know nothing or very little. But they have a big head and they think they know it all. And they are going to transfer their silliness to you. And that will be very difficult to change, okay? So, in general, stick to what is recommended. There will be, for example, YouTube view, but not generic view. There is the specific link. If this is a good resource, I'm going to be certainly open it up for the rest of the class. But your time is limited. You're going to do 4, 5, 6 courses, depends on what you are doing at the moment in this semester. You understand that time is of incredible value. So if you start going around looking for things and not let me tell you, just look at that, go through that, that's fine. okay, you are going to be in trouble. If you are what is called normally in these academic settings in English, whatever, the high flyer, we have people that look like have developed systems, okay? If you are one of them, then absolutely go around and do whatever you like. That's fine, but you are in a different category. And my guess, out of the 400 people that I have in this course, if we have 20 to 30 people like that, we are lucky. Okay? So generally, stick to what is the material given to you. Guys, I'm done. Keep looking at Moodle. You have the password, I guess. Keep going there to see if this course appears. Thank you very much, and I'll see you on Wednesday at 7:30, unfortunately rather late, rather early. Bye-bye.